Who out there right now that's watching this, that's listening to this, has ever heard of a Mac computer? Right? The company called Apple has created the Mac computer. Well, when you go to their website or you go into the store, the first thing they're going to ask you is, are you looking for a Mac computer for your business? Or are you a student? Or do you want a computer that you're going to use for more on the weekend for leisure to scroll on the internet? Well, what they're doing is they're asking you a question so they can identify which type of computer they're going to try to sell to you. It's a Mac computer. All three of them are the same. Maybe different sizes, some bells and whistles on each computer, right? The business one, maybe they sell it for $3,500 and they have all different types of bells and whistles included in that computer, okay? But still, it's a Mac computer, right? The student who needs a Mac computer for school doesn't need all those bells and whistles. So they strip that down. They're selling them a Mac computer with some things that maybe are less software, maybe a smaller screen size, what have you, right? And the person that is leisure is going to get just the basic computer that has the access to the internet. What's the difference? The difference is price. They're talking to each customer. The business person can afford a lot more than the student. And the person that's out there just scrolling the internet doesn't want to spend a ton of money on a computer because they're not really using it for anything other than a hobby, right? So there's a $3,500 Mac computer. There's an $1,800 Mac computer. There's a $900 Mac computer. The only difference is who the audience is for each of those computers, who their target audience is. And then when they understand that, they can go deeper to understand the needs, the problems that each of them are having, the challenges they're having, why they would want a computer. And then that would be further niching down into another segment to understand each of those people's problems. So you may focus on just the business people, right? Or just people that are going back to school, right? People going back to school, there's been times where they've offered free Beats when you purchase the computer, right? For college kids. Well, kids love to listen to music. So they add that. They're not giving this away to anybody that buys a computer that has a business. I've been there. I remember going into the Apple store and I'm buying a computer and they said, they're giving away free headphones, which I wanted, but only to the students. And I was like, oh, I love those, but I'm out of college. And they're like, well, do you have anybody in your family? And I was like, well, I have a 15-year-old and a 12-year-old and they're not Doogie Howser. So no, I don't have college kids. Well, then sorry, you don't qualify. I was like, oh man, that stinks, right? Because I would have loved that. That would actually be good for me when I buy it, and I would be buying it for the business, right? But I'm not necessarily that niche customer for Apple, right? They're looking for somebody who's willing to spend a ton of money, maybe big corporate for the business, right? But at the end of the day, they're creating perception to the consumer that they're customizing it for each of the individual situations, right? That's it. They're identifying, they're segmenting, they're targeting, they're positioning to create perception, to sell the same exact product to all three segments. Boom, right?